A terrific exhibit recently opened at SAM. It is called City of Tomorrow, Jinny Wright and the Art That Shaped a New Seattle. And this is a collection of art from Virginia and Bagley Wright. They gave the museum like over 300 pieces. This exhibit features about 60 of the pieces. They're absolutely amazing. It was beautifully curated by Katarina Manchanda. We're going to take a swing through, so come on. Now we're going to start with this piece here. This is a Mark Rothko. Jinny Wright lived in New York in the 50s or maybe late 40s, early 50s. She bought this piece in 1952 for I think around $1,300. I think she paid it for it in installments, which is amazing because a Mark Rothko is now millions and millions and millions of dollars. But she kept it, they kept it in their collection all these years and they lived with it in their house. It's a glorious, glorious piece. All right, over here, I am just enthralled with this canvas. I mean, obviously it's gigantic, which I love a big painting, but there's something about these colors. I mean, they're clearly like it's rainbow-esque, right, in terms of a lot of different colors, but there's nothing about it that seems hacked or that you've seen it before. It is extremely kind of nuanced and calm and yet very refreshing, just kind of like a burst of flowers out of the earth. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so in this room, there's a couple of pieces that they're huge and they're really beautiful. So this piece here, right, and that really different kind of a frame. It's, you know, obviously these different angles, which, you know, it's interesting. I like the piece. I don't love that kind of framing, but I really appreciate it. I think it obviously really holds up with the painting. And then these pieces over here with these stripes, right? I'm a real stripe freak, by the way. So that one there, there's certain calmness to it, and yet this big, huge, you know, gashing of color, very calm, very disciplined. And then, of course, this column of color. Gotta love a column of color. Okay, this piece is hilarious. I love it. It's a piece of pecan pie, and I think that's a very fitting time. It's a fitting piece. It's the holiday season. Thanksgiving is coming upon us. Why not? You know, it's a time for pecan pie. I would lick it, but I can't because you're not supposed to touch the art. Plus, I don't think it would taste like pecans, but it makes me want to have a piece of pecan pie. These two pieces here, really interesting. This is a Philip Guston and a Franz Klein. These two pieces always hung side by side in the Wrights' home, always. That was how they were presented. So that's how Sam is presenting them here, which is, of course, extremely respectful. I love that over there, the woman on the bed. It's just super cool. It makes me want to go and sit next to her, but of course, once again, please do not touch, so I won't. But what an interesting piece. And then, of course, this here, Jasper Johns, and that's a thermometer going right up the middle, and you can see the numbers, 50, 60, 40, whatever the temperature is. That's a really beautiful piece. That's a very classic piece. All right, heading into this room. This is one of my favorite pieces in this show. And when I look at this, it's metal, painted, all these different colors. When I look at this piece, it makes me think of cars from like the 50s, kind of big, bulbous cars. I'm not a car freak. I don't know much about them. But there's a nostalgic feeling to this. I can't quite put my finger on it. It's perfectly put together. The dimensions are just spot on. Very pleasing. Very, very pleasing to look at. That, of course, is a Warhol, a little crooked, but the Sam staff is going to be, I won't touch it because that wouldn't be good. Okay, so look at this piece here. Jinny, later in her collecting career life, she had a great sense of humor and it started to really come out in some of the pieces that she chose. This piece is a great example of that. It has a certain Chucky, you know, horror film Chucky vibe going on with it. So it is kind of scary, but it's also extremely funny and beautifully, beautifully rendered. Those colors are just really spectacular, and that's oil. Almost looks like it's a photo with paint on it. Okay, so this is a Jeff Koons. It's a fairly famous piece, and maybe you've seen it before. I'm not the hugest fan, but I really do appreciate it, and I think it's incredibly well rendered, and I'm very fond of that gold pig nose. Pretty cute, pretty cute. Okay, over here, well, look at this is a Cindy Sherman. There's a few Cindy Shermans in the Wright collection. That's one of them. It's pretty spectacular. And then here, look at this really, really stunning piece. Glass, obviously frosted glass. And when I first looked at it, I just assumed that all the pieces were glued down onto those glass plates and kind of tabletops. But no, the SAM installation team meticulously has placed every single goblet, every single vase, every single bottle. It's all perfectly done and very thoughtfully done. It's just a gorgeous installation. I'd love to live with it. All right, finally, come this way. So this is called Y, W-H-Y, and you'll see Y in a moment. So here is the W, and there's the H right behind it, tucked behind, and there's the Y there, see that? And then, of course, the question mark. This is a great piece. Why? Why? Because we love art. So this is really just a drop in the bucket, what you've seen today. There's so many more pieces for you to enjoy, and you really want to come down here and check it out. City of Tomorrow, Jinny Wright and the Art That Shaped a New Seattle, runs now through January 18th, 2021. Tickets are available online, and you can reserve yours at seattleartmuseum.org.